everyone, this is Pearl. Welcome back to another Basics on Bass. In this video, we are going to review the major scale from Lesson 6, and then we are going to learn the dominant 7 and the minor scale. Stay tuned.
Okay, major scale pattern in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is the major scale in the key of C. This is going to be the dominant 7 or 7th scale, again in the key of C. Starting off with my second finger on the root. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the 7th scale in the key of C. Okay, this is going to be the minor scale pattern in the key of C. Whereas my other ones, I start off with my second finger on the root. I'm going to start off with my first finger on the root to do the minor scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is the minor scale in the key of C. Good afternoon. My name is Bubba Ray. Cousin Burl ain't around here. He had to go off there and he called me because I'm a coal miner. And he wants you to learn that minor scale. You don't really need a coal miner to teach you the minor scale, but it can't hurt. So anyway, let's stop talking like Bubba and let's talk like a normal person. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. We're back to Basic on Bass, and we're going to learn 2 more scales that are very common in the music business. Last time we learned the major scale, and not only that, but what pattern it was on the bass, as long as we're on one of the final 3 strings. So let's go through, let's start in the key of G, and let's just go through the pattern of the major scale as a review. The major scale in the key of G is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 notes in the scale, and those intervals, or the 7 to 8, or the name of the notes is going to become important today because we're going to talk about 2 other types of scales. We're going to talk about the 7th scale, very popular in blues, and we're going to talk about the minor scale. Now, the nice thing about the minor scale is you can buy it a beer and really not get in trouble. But Pearl's giving me a look now like that part's going to get edited out. But anyway, all right, so let's talk about it. Well, how do we make a 7th scale out of a major scale? 7th scale is very popular in blues. Just think about that's a 7th. That's technically a 7th arpeggio, but the 7th scale, it's called the 7th scale, again, very popular in blues. And the only thing we do versus the major scale is we're going to take this 7th note of the scale and we're going to move it down a half tone, what's called flatting the 7th. So you'll hear people like, you're doing a dominant 7th or you're flatting the 7th. It all means the same thing. It is changing a major to a 7th scale. So let's go through our major. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6. Now, we're going to do the 7th scale. We're going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to be right there. 8. That is it. There is nothing else to it. What we're going to do in a couple lessons, or just give you a foreshadowing, is I'm not going to get into a lot of paperwork and how this would look in a blues progression or how this would look on a chord chart. I figured let's cover all that at one time. Let's just learn the patterns on the bass. So let's just say I change from the key of G to the key of D. It's going to be the same pattern. So watch, when I'm doing the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I've taken a major and I flatted it or moved it down a half tone, 8. Going back down, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is called the 7th scale or the dominant 7th scale. Let's review it one more time. Here's the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That is literally it from changing from a major scale to a 7th or a dominant 7th scale. Same pattern all over the place. If we're in the key of C, we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoops, sorry. A few too many octaves there. But yes, that is it. So we can be up here in the key of E, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, da, 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 what, and so on and so on. So the pattern, like the major scale, the pattern of the 7th scale is always going to be the same. I want to teach you one more scale that if you get the major scale, the 7th scale, and now we're going to work on the minor scale. Those are going to be the 3 scales you see the vast majority of the time. People will be talking about like Dorian mode and Ionian mode and Mixolydian mode and blah, 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 blah. Those are just different names and different styles for the 7th, the minor, and the major. Most bass players, most non-jazz players are going to call it that. They're going to call it a major scale, a 7th scale, and a minor scale or chords. We'll go through what chords are next time. But for now, let's focus on scales. So we changed our major. Let's start again, the key of G. We changed our major to a 7th by taking the 7th and making it 1 half tone lower or flatting it. Now to get the minor, all we're going to do for the minor is we're going to go 1, 2, we're going to take this 3rd note, okay? So now we're starting off on the 7th chord, or 7th scale rather. We're going to take the 3rd interval, 1, 2, 3, we're going to move it down a half tone. So your minor, so go from a 7th to a minor, we've already flatted the 7th, we're going to flat the 3rd. However, to make it a little easier, because you'd be jumping all over the bass if you go from that direction, the pattern that you're going to learn for the minor scale is this. We're starting off here in the root, 2nd, flatted 3rd right here. 1st, 2nd, minor 3rd or flatted 3rd or a variety of different names, same thing. We've taken our regular 3rd and we moved it down a half step. 1, 2, 3. Now the rest of the scale is just going to be the 7th scale all over again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going down. 8, we got our flatted 7. 6, 5, 4, our flatted 3rd. 3, 2, 1. That is it. And so if we want to move up to the key of C, let's go in the key of C now. 1, 2, flatted 3rd, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to our root. 8, 8, 7 again, flatted 7th, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see me move my fingers a little bit. If you had really big fingers, you could probably span it. 99.9% of bass players are not going to be able to go all the way from here without moving their thumb. So that's why you'll see me, I do a very subtle shift. If I'm going 1, 2, 3, I'm leaving my 4, 5, I'm shooting then, without having moved my hand at all, I've just shifted it up. You know, you'd have a really long stretch if you wanted to do that. So when you're doing it, let's start off here with our first finger on the root note. Let's do the key of C just to change it up a little bit. We're going to go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. Haven't changed my hand position at all. But now I got this finger, I'm like, oh crap, I got to get down here. Very simple to do. I don't have to move anything but my thumb. Let's watch. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. All I'm going to do, very slightly rotate my thumb, 6, flatted 7th, 8th. That is the minor scale. So your 3 scales, let's go through the patterns of all 3 scales that we know, because these are the 3 vastly most important scales. We have the major, and I'm going to do them all in the key of C. In the key of C, the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's why I said it's very important that you use those numbers too, because then it's going to make a lot more sense, because it's not going to make a difference what key you're in, because the third of the chord is always going to be the same as long as whatever root you're starting off is 1, 2, 3. So I can always find the third. I don't have to necessarily know the note. I just know the interval between the root and the third. So let's go on the major scale again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's now make that the 7th scale, or dominant 7th scale. Again, very popular in blues. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Flatten that major. Dominant 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can see on both the major and the dominant 7th, I'm starting the scale with my second finger on the root, and I don't have to move my hand position at all, no matter what key I'm in. If I'm in the key of D, I can start here and I leave my second finger on the root. I don't have to change my hand position at all. For the major scale or the dominant 7th, I'm going to start the root of the scale, or the first tone, with my second finger on the root. When we're changing over to a minor, I'm going to want you to put your first finger on the root. So watch the minor scale now. 1, 2, we flatted that 3 to the minor third. 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to shift my finger ever so slightly. 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. Major, minor, and 7th scales. Where we're going to go from here, now that you know your scales and know the notes of the scales, we're going to talk about chords and arpeggios. Because a bass line wouldn't be very interesting, nor probably would you ever hear somebody play just a scale. I can't even play it because it's, try to play like a walking pattern of da 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 da. Just wouldn't work. And that's because scales are not necessarily designed to be a bass line, but they are the basis for all of the patterns and arpeggios and chords and everything we're going to do. So next time, now that we've learned all of our scales, next time we're going to figure out how to take those scales and what notes are important in those scales for use in our bass line, no matter what kind of music we're playing. So, we're going to learn that, the root, the third, the fifth, and then sometimes the 7th are going to be the most important notes we play in that. But until next time, I'm going to be Cousin Bubba right here. Maybe we'll invite Burl back for the next one, but I don't know. He's on his world tour, so you might be stuck with me. All right, thank you guys, and have a great day. Bye-bye.